Okay, so what's up? Today we're going to be reacting to Planetarian. So we're going to be watching that today. Thank you for coming. Here's my model quickly. There it goes. Yep. Anyways, we're going to react to Planetarian. Just a quick update. You know, I've been sick for the past like two or so weeks. Like I basically had the flu or COVID or something, I don't know, and then as that was going away, I then started developing like a sinus infection and a chest cold and all this stuff. So like, yeah, so I've been sick for like the better part of or almost 2 weeks. I have a slight cough still, but I'm like 98-ish% better. So no lightheadedness, no exhaustion, no anything of the sort or whatever other stuff. So I don't feel so groggy and like, oh, like just beat up. No reason to be angry over that. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna watch Planetarian. Planetarian is a really, really great story. You know, I did stream the visual novel. You can check that out. I'll put the link below in the description for that playlist. And also for the prequel, I'll include it in that as well. The prequel I reacted to. I did not watch the anime remake of the visual novel because apparently the remake leaves out a lot of internal dialogue, so you don't get a lot of character development from the main character, from what I've heard and read, and also related to Yumemi, because a lot of her character development you get from the perspective of the main character and his internal dialogue, so it like cuts out some of that. So plus, and if anyone's interested in the story, you should play the visual novel. I think the anime is like 2 hours or 2.5 hours total, but the visual novel is like 4 if you play it straight through. Or if you talk a lot and stuff, then it might take longer like it did for me, but anyways. So, I'm trying out like a few like noise gate filters and stuff, noise gate and noise suppression, so we'll see how that is. We are going to react to Planetarian, the sequel movie today, so that'll be great. And yeah, so it'll be a full reaction. I might split it into 2 parts, but I'm not really planning to edit it or anything, so it should be good. So we will, I don't know if I'll put a timer or not. I'm not really sure how to do that, but anyways, we'll jump into the sequel. The prequel was great. It really like helped one to get to know Yumemi better and just how odd she is, you know. I do believe she's a noetical being, not just rational. I don't know how much the OVA anime remake of the visual novel leaves out, but the visual novel is great, and the prequel anime episode is great. And now we're going to the sequel movie. So let's jump into this right about now. Planetarian Ikaga Desho. Whenever she says that, it really just hits me a little hard. Because it reminds me of the ending of the visual novel when she keeps saying it. It's like, damn. Hits in the heart pretty hard. Yeah. No tears, no worries. No worries. The beautiful twinkling of eternity that will never fade. All the stars in the sky are waiting for you. So, this might be 2 parts that I split it into, only because it's a long movie. Well, it's not a long movie, but it's a movie length, you know, full feature film. The human population is only 100,000. What, that's the estimate? That's a really low number. Man. I wonder if this is the main character. I don't know anything about the sequel other than that, like, it takes place years later. I hope it has a happy ending. Has to tell someone about it. About what? His story? I wonder if it's like a nuclear wasteland. So they have to wear masks. No choice but to. Mm. I have the video flipped just in case of copyright. That's also why I have the white thing in the middle too. Just in case, you know? Just in case. Hopefully I don't have to edit this more. He's like, it's fine, and then it's not fine. I like the highlights in the hair, and not hair, the eyes. The pink highlights and the blue eyes and stuff. Oddly goes together. These like 10-year-olds are gonna be like, yo, we have to fix this. Bob the Builder. The Bob the Builder crew. What did he trip over? Actually. A wooden box. What was that song? Do you wanna build a snowman or so? Was that it? Do you wanna build a snowman? La 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 la. Something. I don't know. Where's that from? Like Frozen or something? They found someone like just buried. Oh, he passed out from exhaustion. Damn, how do they, where do they get food from? Hoshi no Hito. I don't know if I even read that right. Oh, he's old. It's like I remember nothing. I'm sorry for the cough. Still, you know, it's like cold. I'm like 98% better. Inochi sukarimashita. You helped my life. You saved my life. Inochi sukarimashita. Inochi is the Onyomi reading, right? Chinese reading, I think. The last adult man died. What? Why is this like old dude dressed like he's a digidestined? Like he's like a kid. I don't know, it just looks like that to me. But he did it. World's oldest mountain climber. They praying? To who or what? Jeremiah. I was like Jeremiah, the spelling of it. Jeremiah would be a guy's name. I've never heard Jeremiah before. I missed like a minute or two of info there. Something about DNA mutation? I missed it, unfortunately. Hopefully it wasn't important info. It's like, where are you from? Land far, far away. It's like, is that a bomb? Are you a terrorist? She asked the whole dude. Hoshi. Hoshi no Hito. A stargazer. Hmm. What is a stargazer? Master of the galaxy. He's like, you've never heard of a stargazer? That's weird. The reason I'd come to this place, why did he go there? My meeting with her, yeah. Yep, yep, this is the main dude. He's old now. So this is his reflection and kind of giving a bit of a recap of his own story, partly. I missed what info they said about the DNA mutation then. I was going to go back in it, but I want this to be a full reaction, uncut if I can leave it. I might have to split it in two parts because the video will be so long. He's being chased by a bunch of R2-D2s. Like R2-D2, like like knockoff versions. Just as powerful, but half the price. Junkers. Yeah, that's what he was. A man broke a cup and he's like, what is that? Who did that? He's like, Nani? Kono. Kono oto? Oto? Oto is sound, right? Hmm. Our 2.5 millionth customer. He's like, what? What's happening? Who is this? Oh yeah, I remember that in the visual novel. He's like, what the hell? What the hell is a girl doing in this place? He goes into their place and he's like, what do you want? It's hilarious. Hmm. She's like, technically, but I just rounded the number up. This is a sequel, right? I guess it's just giving some recap and stuff. I guess, like, maybe the reason they're doing that is so the movie can function semi-independently if someone's watching it a while after the visual novel or OVA remake. Oh, but it's a bouquet, yo. It's like, what is this? What do you mean? Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna be honest, I do hope that this isn't just recap of the visual novel. She's like, yep, I'm just a little broken. I do think Planetarian has really good character development. Some people, like, I don't know how the OVA remake does, you know, with the whole character development, because it does shorten, you know, if I'm not mistaken, it shortens a lot of, you know, the internal dialogue, which is where the character development is, not just for the main guy, but also for Yumemi. Because a lot of her character development in the visual novel, it was like through the internal dialogue and the lens of the main character, right? So a lot of that got cut out for the OVA remake, the 5 episodes or whatever. Then a lot of that got left out. I don't know why anyone would watch the OVA. Remake, which is like 2.5 hours, rather than play the visual novel, which is like 4. It makes no sense. Unless you just want to compare them. I might watch it in the future just to compare it to the visual novel, but what I did was I played the visual novel, watched the prequel. Now we're watching the sequel finally. A holovid. Hoshizora. Hi. Hoshizora. I like she said hi, like yes, and they translated it to like 3 words. Well, the translations are obviously like like a parody in a way, because it reflects the regional dialect. It's meant to sound how people from whatever region would speak. That's how the subtitles are framed. Hoshi no Yumemi. How long ago was this? He's probably about 30 here, right? So this must have been at least like 4 decades. Then again, maybe even sooner if he was like malnourished. He's like, Miss Yana, who is this? Who is that? This guy literally has a handheld grenade launcher. That's hilarious. You're supposed to laugh. So this is just like his memory of back then. Dun dun dun. Doo doo doo. If I did not know that was like a planetarian machine, it would probably, like, if I never saw technology before, or like more primitive technology, I would think that's like some kind of like alien war machine or something. So that's like almost how it seems. Hmm. He's like, whatever. I don't care anymore. She's like surprised, like, Nani? Well, that was the dude who he buried with sardines. That robot, he's talking about Yumemi. He freaked out. He's like, what the hell? What is this mechanical beast on me? Mm. I have to like double check to make sure this is actually a sequel. Hmm. I am hoping that the movie will largely not just be a remake of the visual novel. She's like, I don't understand what that means. What are you saying? Is being such a tsundere. Seeing her smile just reminds me of the end of the visual novel. I'm just continually reminded of it. Hmm. He just leaves while she's still talking. She's still talking. She's still talking like he's right there. Isn't he supposed to wear the hood so, like, the rain doesn't burn his face off or something? Hmm. I'm gonna be honest, that right now this isn't exactly feeling like a sequel. I feel like this is maybe meant to be watched like a while after the visual novel. Because obviously it has parts that are a sequel, but also part of it's like him reflecting on whatever, which feels like recap. She's like, I'm clocking out, you're on your own. Yare yare does it. Yare yare. Splash, sploosh. Acid rain. Man just has nightmares all the time. And she's like, yo, that's wonderful. It's like, was it pleasant? No, not at all. Oh, he actually said not at all. It's not all it's chalked up to be. Yeah, most dreams are not. Most dreams are just weird. Mm. The first time in 8,600 hours. What the frick? He's like, it's my bad timing. Soon, dear. He enjoys the company or even talk to her. It's a miracle that it's still running. I thought the rain was like some acid rain or something that he needed to shield himself from. It's like coffee, huh? They already checked it and everything. Place was wrecked. He's like, yeah, I'm still working on, though I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm doing something. Watch, he goes to like try to fix it and it just like gets worse. I feel like this would have been more enjoyable if I watched it a while from now. Because it has a lot of recap. I think it's kind of partly a recap of the OVA series and the visual novel, the part sequel as well. Like it's mixed. The framework of it is interesting, how they frame it, like him reflecting back on the memories of the past. But hopefully the whole film is not just that. But it's a nice framework if like you haven't played the visual novel in a while and you want like a refresher, but with the sequel parts. At least that's how it seems to me thus far. So for the ones that like cry, would it be oil that comes out or like? It's like slowly, slowly. Yukuri, yukuri. Is that how you say slowly, slowly? I forget. Got it powered on for half a second. Look at that. Man, man, it's like my graham cracker supply is getting low. My hamster food supply is getting low. This part I remember in the visual novel was really deep. I used to be big on mythology back when I was in high school. I know like a very good amount of theology. She's like, I'll pray to what, Dionysus, the wine god. Since you love alcohol, I'll pray to him for you. Like, what the frick? From a meeting on that. In the visual novel, it didn't seem to express it as a meeting, but I guess she's just framing it in that context. We have malfunctions, batteries never decay. That's nice. Every tear shall be wiped away. Hmm. Yep. There's a reference to Revelation 21:3-4. Every tear shall be wiped away, and shall be no more pain, no sorrow, nor suffering, for the former things have passed away. What they said to her reminded me of that line from the Bible. No pain, no sorrow, nor no suffering. For the former things have passed away. Quite beautiful. It's like, damn, all the flowers are dead. Hmm. Same customer who heard it each day before, and she's like, nah, you'll hear it again. Sorry, my throat was bothering me a little. Oh, look at him, he's smiling. He's like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Oh, he fixed it. So I guess he's telling, like, this story, at least the main parts, to, like, the people at that base. That's cool. We summon the sun whenever we wish. This is the power of technology! Ooh. Nice. Venus, the evening star. I gotta go to a planetarian sometime. I have to find one around. I will definitely go to one this year, though. A river of milk flowing through the sky. Deneb. What's that giant turkey? Altair of Aquila. Ah, my character's last name is Altair. Looked like a bird. Makes sense. It's like, is that a pizza pocket slice? Like, I was gonna say pizza pocket, but then it's like it's a triangle. It's not round. Deneb. A horse. Andromeda Galaxy. The stars are drawing me in. Ancient Ethiopian king Cepheus and his queen Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia boasted about her daughter's beauty so greatly. She invoked the wrath of Poseidon, god of the ocean. That makes no sense. Anger of Poseidon's like, yo, your daughter's not more beautiful than mine. Get out of here. Godzilla attacked. Or like Godzilla of the sea. The whole story of like the Greek and Roman gods is like so screwed up and weird. They were as wicked as man, as humans. Umemi, top tier actress. Against Medusa. In this very world, she was an omnipotent storyteller. Stars were her little garden. This does hit a bit hard because it just reminds me of parts of the visual novel. Would also make sense that as he's telling the story, his memory's faded, so he mostly is going over the major parts, because that's what he can remember, and then also... because that's just what he can do there. Also to give, like, the main points of a story. Don't need to give every detail. Oh, I remember this in the visual novel. The power's been cut off. No shit, Sherlock. She just said how, like... how it's not working. Hmm. Your voice alone will suffice. Paint a picture with your storytelling. And it's like I'm a paying customer even though I'm here for free. I want my money's worth. There will be a projection. Her eyes are beautiful. Also, it's a cool touch how they put his reflection in her eyes there. I wonder what's with that necklace he has. I forgot if it was explained in the VN or not. She's evolving. She's digivolving. Her next form is unlocking. She's like Genos from One Punch Man when he like goes glowing. Anyways. I was about to say, is he falling asleep? But he's just imagining it. Oh, that story. That dude who tried to fly to the sun. Can't remember his name. I like this artwork here. It gives a nostalgic feel in the storytelling. I like that they made it a little different from the anime's artwork too, to kind of display that they're showing like a projection. Something other than the environment around and stuff. They're reusing the music too. Nice. Space territoriality, what? They will reach out to the heavens above. I think that's true metaphysically. That's a great shot of her sitting up there. The angle before is very beautiful. The planetarium is a time machine. Distant pass into the furthest reaches of the future. Goran kudasai. Goran kudasai. This is the start. 1,000 years from this day. I mean, that's like estimated. If you ever find yourself lost in the darkness, no longer able to see the real starry sky, please remember it. This is my little Reverie. Damn, I can make you dizzy. Orion, Origa, Taurus. These are the harbingers of doom, no, the magnificent season. Very soon the town will spring to life. And she's a great storyteller. Should you and me should do audiobooks. Very good. Well, that was gorgeous, like that scene of them in the sky with the clouds going by. She's like, yo, he fell asleep. She's just gonna drive beside him. It's a great privilege for a human being to be able to sleep beneath the starry sky. Yeah. It's a beautiful sight. As long as you have a way to deal with the bugs and stuff. Mosquitoes. Showed that day are forever with me when I close my eyes. So he's giving them like basically a large recap. Hmm. I still feel like he's dressed like he should be like some digi-destined who is suddenly just aged. Like some time magic or something. She probably just did it out of respect. Okay, what the hell? Also, interesting, like all these biblical names. Yeah. What's a star? He's like, what the hell's a sun? I'm someone's son. Does that make me a star? It's because it was a cloudy kid. It's like, did he come from outer space? Is he an alien? They think she's like a walking, like, encyclopedia or something. A greenhouse or something? I mean, they're surrounded by, like, wintry mountains and stuff, so they need to. Oh, is he gonna, like, show them a mini one? Casa umbrella. Oh, to make one. They're gonna be, like, indoors, what? Oh, that that hall's huge. They're gonna make, like, a giant, like, umbrella? Tent? Better too much than too little. She's like, oh, I don't understand. It's not an umbrella. You're calling it an umbrella. It's not being used as an umbrella. She's like, I am confusion. Hmm. They're like, what? Far, far beyond the sky. This upload will probably be on edited, to be honest. It was split in 2 parts. Ezra is the chief, right? He's like, I'm old, I'm dying. I don't have the energy to like speak. Yob? Yob? Is his name like lots of biblical names, like Old Testament names actually. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Job. Damn. They're talking a lot. They're just gossiping and saying horrible stuff. Ezra as well. Another, like, lots of Old Testament names. Lots of biblical names. It's not good to gossip about people. It's mean. No one likes it when it's done about them. Don't do it about others. You know, treat others how you want to be treated. Prepare the device. Ruth. Wasn't Ruth a woman's name? Like, in this they're using... Maybe it's because of, like, the way they're pronouncing the names, but... They're swapping genders for it. But they're, like, pronouncing it in different name ways where it sounds different. I mean, obviously because of the accent, but I mean, it sounds like they're making masculine names sound feminine. Not the same thing, but like comparing Alexander and Alexandra. Spelling's a little different for that, but it's similar to that. At least how it sounds to me. If that makes any sense, I don't know. Oh, he wrote a instruction manual for it? By hand? He's like, nah, I got this, yo. It's like, I've been training for this. It's like, what? Well, it's like a wind-up one. The biggest and brightest being in the night sky. I mean, technically, the moon just reflects the sun's light, right? They're like, oh my gosh. Ah, yeah, this is the like a very great advertisement for planetarian businesses. It's a constellation. She gets mad, that's funny. Stars that form a pattern are called constellations. Ancient times, people looked at them and thought they were images of like divinity. Hmm? The power of imagination. That's a reference. I'm surprised they're not able to see it when they're outside. Then again, I guess they're like not trying to, freeze to death. Oh, blood. He's dying. Ah, anata deshoka. Man's like, I'm dying. He actually is, though, like. Damn, he's like, I'm grateful that this body has held out as long as it has. Hold on a bit longer. Sore wa arigatai. What is he drinking? Is it alcohol? Mine's like, my lungs are bad, but not my liver. Only about Brayden, what the hell? Oh, like, perpetuating generations. Because the population is really low, yeah. Hmm. Interesting. A better future for them. In what way, though? Hmm. They're like, it's the kid's choice. I mean, right now they're so gung-ho about it, I think that they'd be more likely to accept and do it now. I wonder why all the biblical names, though. Just curious. like we're not up to anything that you need to know about. 너? 기샤라네. Restricted area. Looks like an air duct. What are they doing? What are... I wonder what they found. It's an ancient jewelry box. Hmm. A request. Nanda. Nanda. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Like, they all have their roles designated. This in exchange, what is it? Huh? You confused? That almost looks like a kind of key to something. The thing that they had, I don't know if they were praying to or not. At the beginning, it looked like Umemi. Ah, he's back. Man's like, it's in the past. The projection... He's like, it wasn't half bad. Such a tsundere. To the god of robots for me. I'm guessing that we will find out what happened to Umemi. I'm guessing Umemi is at that base. Sorry for my slight cough. I bet she's at that place. And it's like I'll be walking. Very specific. So I'm guessing he's telling the kids this part of the story too. Just his main things. He probably forgot a lot of little details growing into his elderly age. Oh yeah, they needed to take breaks like every 10 minutes. And the visual novel, and she kept tripping. Oh damn, oh that must have hurt. That was like right on her face. Was the rain not acid rain? I actually thought it was. And that like his coat thing was like a special protective thing against it, but I guess not, I don't know. Did she say, do you like cream puffs? Well, she would be best friends with Mashal. With Mash Burn Dead. Mashal is a hilarious anime. Recommend anyone to watch it. It's like Harry Potter meets One Punch Man. Femoral power unit. So her legs. The femur bone is the thigh bone. They're out and about on an adventure on the town. Kuzuya. Scrapyard man. This guy, I'm the garbage man. It's crazy her saying like, oh, I'm recyclable. She's like, I can't. It's sacred. Here's your bouquet of microphones and electrical outlets. Damn, it's a wasteland. Man, it's like I need to find it. The Grand Chalice. The ancient divine liquor. I don't know why the heck he broke that. He could have probably just walked around it or whatever. And it's like it's booby trapped. She's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll grab it. Well, if it's a life-threatening trap, there's only one way to find out. That liquor bottle is like bigger than his forearm. Sherry barrel. What the heck? He's like, it's gone bad. Yeah, in the visual novel, after he gets a little buzzed, his thoughts are... Oh, damn, did she just trip? Did she say watch your step and then tripped? I enjoyed this movie, but I do feel like it would have been better to watch it a while after finishing the visual novel, since a good portion of it is kind of like recap. I'm watching it like weeks or maybe a month later. Not from the prequel, but from the visual novel. I think I would have enjoyed it more watching it a few months after. Also, it would interestingly fall in line with like the reminiscence thing, since the story is the old dude reminiscing about this. I think with a movie like this, it can't be too fresh in the mind because of the recap parts. You'd like a sweet spot for it. Please do not divide heaven in two. She's like so pure and innocent. Damn. She's like so pure and innocent, it just hits in the heart so hard. But watching this, including its recap, just makes me appreciate the visual novel so much more with its internal dialogue and all. And this kind of brought parts of it to life, which is amazing. Do you see it's because I had no alcohol? It's like the alcohol is playing mind tricks on me. A fiddler crab. It's like, what is that? It's a giant crab. It's like that mod from Skyrim. The deadliest sea urchin. The pincer crab. It's a king crab Pokemon, but mechanized. She's like, yes, but according to my information, you're wrong. I feel like in some of the shots, her face is a little more chibi-ish looking. It's like the city's dead, come with me and I'll help you. And this really needs to be watched after the visual novel, because there's too much. The internal dialogue that he has is too important for his and Yumemi's development, because her character development is largely seen through his lens. My character has hair physics, moves a tiny bit. His pocket-sized grenade launcher. Man, it's like I trained all my life for this. Like, not like she didn't ask him, like, oh, you're a garbage man. So, like, why do you have, like, a grenade launcher? So I'll talk about, like, the series of Planetarian a bit after this reaction. But mostly focusing generally not too much on the visual novel. Because, well, I talked about the visual novel a lot during my stream of it, and when I finished it. So I'll focus more on talking about the prequel and the sequel, but also Planetarian just as a whole. Oh, damn. She's using that panoptic lens. Man, I only got 2 shots left. Boom, 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 boom. Bam, 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 bam. Imagine, like, he dies and on his tombstone it just says killed by a giant crab, by a mecha crab. That's nuts. Yo, it's like a low on ammo, low energy power saving mode. A bulletproof tank. It's like skating on the cement. Like a slip inside. Ooh, nice shot. Oh, damn. Damn. I fired a laser cannon. Oh, his legs got screwed up. An eye for an eye, a leg for a leg. Oh, like the horrible luck to have just dropped. Ow, that must hurt, like falling cement. Just smacked him right in the back. Does it even know what it's shooting at? It probably assumes there's like enemies in the building, since he originally fired from inside. So that thing was originally supposed to protect that wall. Oh my gosh. They make you relive this in 4K. No, I'm kidding. She's like approaching it. Hmm. I'm gonna leave the wings open a little just in case. Oh my gosh. All over again. They make you relive it. And it just shows the bouquet. The visual novel obviously did that better, but like this isn't exactly a remake of the visual novel. This part's just like a recap in a way, with the dude reflecting on it. Oh my gosh. That's not exactly her voice. Oh my gosh. I don't know how the remake of the visual novel holds up to it, but from what I heard, obviously, they left out a lot of character development with internal dialogue for both main characters. Beautiful, beautiful display of agape love. Like selfless epitome of selflessness. She saves his life and then she vouches for the killer robot. A very beautiful character. I mean, like, heart-wise. 600 seconds at 10 minutes. Damn. She's like, yeah, my robotic organs are falling out, but do not worry. I'm surprised she didn't get bullets throughout like her entire body. I missed exactly what you said there. The main reason this hits hard because I'm choking up a little bit, so yeah. It just reminds, just relive the visual novel. I gotta watch that OVA remake of the visual novel. The ONA remake was 5 episodes sometime. But obviously, like, it won't be as good as the visual novel in terms of the depth of it. So for sure, anyone should read the visual novel. I'll talk about, like, a lot of the stuff briefly. Oh, this... It's where, sorry I'm not talking, it's just... Yeah, it's hard. I'm not crying, but like this did make my eyes tear up. I did cry during the visual novel though, like twice, 2 times. Well, I think when Yumemi died, and then one other part, which I've kind of forgot. Of course, they put the violins. "29 years and 71 days ago. 44 years and 138 days have passed since our first projection at the planetarium. Damn, she looks great for her age." She's a robot, she doesn't age, right? She's like, yo, I wondered about all of this. That they would never return again. It's like, but you showed up. She broke through her programming. The depths of like her noeticism, it can only really be seen and appreciated through the visual novel. What's broken was the world. Everything else. Humanity. Damn, 2.5 minutes. I can record one more message. Listen closely. The voice acting is really good. The voice actor sounds like he's choking back tears as well. A venue full of customers waiting for you. I finally understood who you are. Wonder what she means by that. And she sees him as like a messenger of God or a robot God or whatever. Something like that. That thing, that yellow thing on her face, it looks like Vegeta's scouter from Dragon Ball Z, the Saiyan scouter, the power level scouter. I don't remember these lines in the visual novel. Kami-sama do ka. Do not. It's a very beautiful concept. Especially wondering about the development of robots, their impact on society, what it could be. Would they be rational? Yes. To a miracle, could they be like Chi-chan or whoever, or Yumemi here? And be or become noetical through some divine workings? Possibly, surely. It's possible, then it's sure. She's like, I can't cry, but if I could, I would. It's crazy how the raindrops go. And they like form tears there. Doshite. Oh gosh. They put that line. But that line killed in the visual novel when she was just like repeating it. I'm not crying, but like this did make me tear up remembering that. Making me choke up a little. Definitely, definitely. We got the card. I enabled the wings for my character just in case of copyright. The video is flipped anyways, same with the subtitles. Oh, he gave her his necklace there. Threw the grenade launcher away, he's like, I got no more ammo. Broken leg. Yeah, he couldn't carry her body as a robot. She's probably like super heavy, so he wouldn't be able to. Did he explain to them? The symbol of the Stargazer. I think they're gonna like kick them out. They're gonna be like, we can't take care of. You must leave by evening. It's kinda heartless. I mean, you can't stop them if they want to. His role in this world has ended. Damn. It's like we're super emotional. Inda. Inda. He stayed there for a little bit, but they're like, we can't take care of you. Too many mouths to feed. I think he was only planning to be there temporarily, anyways. Is that... But that can't be Yumemi, though. Because Yumemi's body was left, right? I'll leave you my books. Knowledge is power. Be careful. The more you know, the less you might cure. He's like, it's not you, Memi, exactly, but oh, old man, be careful before they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Oh shit. Oh damn, he had a heart attack. Hmm. He didn't even get to tell them about the slot. Well, you know, he's staying at the village longer now. Sorry about the slight cough. I'm mostly better. My cough is like once or twice every like 20 minutes or something. So you kept it in a lighter or the memory card slot? Watch the android wakes up and is like, I shall deal with humanity. He's like, he thinks like a angel or something came. Is this android supposed to be a robot? Oh, if he's referencing, he's like, is there one gate or is there two? Say, remembering how you Memi said, I hope heaven is not divided. I was about to say, the moment the cane dropped, that's gonna be like he's young again. All right. All right. I was choking back tears, but I'm like, let's let one out. Let one fall. Oh, the bouquet transformed. Hmm. Did she ever learn his name? I think the whole story you don't even know what his name is. Oh, dude, just cry. Let it out. It's really good. That android there is like a nun. She's shocked because they're like, what the hell? What is he buried in? What is that? Time capsule or something? Hmm. Somewhere. So he passed on the relic of Yumemi's memories. So I'll talk about Planetarian, not a lot. I'm not really going to talk about the visual novel too much, but everything as a whole, sequel, prequel a little bit, but mostly try to focus on it as a whole. We'll watch this ending sequence. Hopefully it's not picked up and I'm not hit with copyright. I'm gonna try to leave everything unedited, but I might have to edit it depending on the copyright. Beautiful song. Okay. Just in case, I'm probably gonna skip the ending song. And just talk about whatever. Yeah, very beautiful. The beautiful twinkling of eternity that will never fade. No matter what, all the stars in the sky are waiting for you. Yumemi's voice. Yumemi wasn't really in this. I'll talk about a few things. Okay, so that was Planetarian. So let's talk about a few things here. So, first and foremost, great story, really great, love it. It's incredible. It definitely is. It definitely really is. It was yeah, it was great. It was great. So I'm not going to talk too much about like the visual novel. The visual novel, people can watch my stream for it, and I talk about it when I completed it. But what I will absolutely talk about is the story as a whole. So the story as a whole is very beautiful. Um, I will talk about the sequel right now. First and foremost, I enjoyed it. It was really great. The main reason it's really great is obviously because of the visual novel, because it reminds you of those parts of it. I do think that, probably around half of the movie is kind of like recap, and then half of it is like not. The recap works in the context because it's like he's telling the story about it. At least I hope he was, and he's reminiscing on it, like in relation to the present, and so that's like it really works with it. I would say that I would not watch the sequel movie right away like directly after finishing the visual novel. Um, Mostly because half of it is recap. I would personally either wait. I'd either watch it like immediately right away, or I would wait like a while, like at least a few months to watch it because of the recap of it, and also then you kind of like relate to how like that way you kind of reminisce on the story and stuff while seeing like the sequel of it, the sequel parts, which in my opinion would maybe make it more enjoyable because that way it's not too fresh, but it's not too old in the mind, and it brings back the memories that hit hard of the visual novel. But yeah, I would have liked more, like less, more of just sequel parts. Like the movie could have been a bit shorter as well. I think they partly put some stuff there to recap, also as like for to get what I just said across, those sort of feelings, and also maybe to make it partly a standalone thing. It itself is great, but it needs to be watched with the Planetarian as a whole, right? The prequel for Planetarian was amazing. Like it beautiful visuals and everything else, and it really it really just brought a deeper connection to Yumemi and to like the surrounding world, right? So that's really great. The prequel, I think, is much more better. I think it would be much better appreciated watching it after reading the visual novel. And I do think the visual novel, while I haven't watched the O&A remake of Planetarian, the visual novel, the remake of the visual novel, from what I've heard, it leaves out a lot of the internal dialogue. The internal dialogue is, where most of the character development is for the main character, and also for Yumemi, because a lot of her character development is seen through the internal dialogue and the lens of the main character and his interactions with her, and noticing things about her and her behavior and all these things, right? The prequel adds upon that and gives more depth to Yumemi and the others, but I know the prequel is amazing. I thought the sequel is great, and the sequel parts are great, but it could have been a bit shorter on the recap. But then again, that could be countered either by, caught up in the feelings watching it immediately after the visual novel and prequel, or waiting like, a few months for it to kind of, like age like a fine wine, sort of. And then to like look back reminiscently on the visual novel in the context of the sequel with its recap parts. I thought it was great. It would have been nice if that card actually reached a new android for you memories and stuff. But it's kind of like an open ending that kind of implies that, you know, it eventually will and stuff. The ending was very beautiful. You know, that android that they were worshipping as a goddess, oddly, she was like praying, which was beautiful. She was like a nun. Well, I don't know if she was a nun. Well, she wasn't exactly dressed like a nun either, but she was dressed like a very devout woman, and it was beautiful that she was like over the main character's deathbed praying for him. That was very beautiful. Um, Lots of like questions that come about with the Planetarian series, like wondering about, you know, the development of robots and androids and where they would fit into society and all these things and the impacts thereof, and then also like, you know, also like, you know, on a theological scale, where do they fit in? Are they like, they would not be noetical beings, they would be rational, but the epitome of rational, but could they become noetic through some kind of divine miracle or something like that? And reminds me of Chi-chan from Chobits, kinda. That addressed a lot of different problems and concerns as well. Though the ending for it and the relationship between the main characters was really weird. For this, it portrays it in a much, even though there's no romance in Planetarian, it's a much more organic and healthy way. Because obviously, you know, Yumemi, she's not a human being, she's a robot. She's a completely different type of being than the main character, who is a human, right? So, but it has a lot of deepness and richness about like philosophically, religiously. You know, you see at the end of the sequel that one android praying for over the main character's deathbed for him, and then him remembering Yumemi's words about, oh, I hope heaven is not divided. Very beautiful. And then Yumemi reflecting on like these deep meaning of life things. Is there a heaven? Is there an afterlife? You know, what's it like? Reminds me of Revelation 21, 3 and 4. Now I shall dwell with them and as their God, and I shall be their God, and I shall wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there shall be no more pain, nor sorrow, nor suffering, for the former things have passed away. And I only mention like biblical lines because obviously Planetarian is very deep, and it like brings up questions about the afterlife and this and that and all this stuff, right? So like for sure Yumemi was a noetical being, and then I feel like there's implications to that. Also, that android, the green-haired one at the end, that she was also a noetical being because she was literally there praying for the main character, and you know, it draws up a lot of questions, you know, about robots and androids. Could they would, if man made them, obviously they wouldn't be noetical because noeticism has to do with the soul. I'm not going to go into theology too much. I could teach a whole class on it, but to talk about that would take too long. But you know, through some divine miracle, they could become noetical, right? Like humans, like angels. If you believe in theology and stuff, or philosophical religious studies. But they would be different, right? As those two are different from one another, they would also be different. But it's a beautiful concept, and of course, man, you know, humans, this world is broken, and we are all broken in some sort of way, right? No one is perfect. We all have our faults. Some faults are bigger than others, but no one is perfect, obviously. And so the issue with robots and androids being developed is they'd be created in the likeness. I don't mean physically, obviously, but they'd be created in the likeness of man and humankind in our broken, sinful ways. But life is a journey, and you try to reach the pinnacle to become a better person, a kinder person every day, Try to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. It reminds me of a quote from my favorite character, Makino Harashoko, who said, I try to live each day being a kinder person than I was the day before. At least a little bit. I'm paraphrasing the quote a little bit, but yeah. So, anyways, Planetarian is great. People should watch it. I highly recommend. Read the visual novel. Watch the prequel. I recommend watching it afterwards. And then either watch the sequel immediately or, wait some time before. Because I do think there was too much recap in the sequel. But maybe instead of watching it like a month later, I should have waited a couple months. But the sequel parts are great, and I do, the fact that there's no romance, like I said, makes sense because two different kind of beings. Robots and humans would be very similar, but they're different. They can't be together because that would be more like codependence than actual love. So, yeah. It would either end up being codependence or lust than actual love. But there's different kinds of love. There's not just romantic love, of course. So, that, like the philia, the agape can be there. The beautiful agape type love from Yumemi, when she sacrificed herself to save the main dude, and then on top of that, even asking that the quote-unquote sins of the crab robot be forgiven, no grudge be held against them for their wrongdoings, saying that they're just broken, So that, intercession there, it's beautiful. Very deep concepts in Planetarian, very, very deep. I could go on talking about it for a while. I highly recommend, watch my prequel reaction and see what I talk about there, and then also mostly watch the ending reaction to my streaming series and of the visual novel, and there I go way more in depth with my thoughts for like a good half hour or 40 minutes. Anyways, if you like the video, give it a like, subscribe for more. Let me know your thoughts on it. Don't forget to hit the bell so you miss nothing. Share if you care. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I don't know if there's more I want to talk about. The prequel was amazing. The sequel is great, but I do wish that Yumemi's memory card actually went in to whatever, that there was less recap and that there was more, explanation about the importance of the stargazer and how the stargazer became important in the world and stuff. It didn't really explain that. I also missed a little information about whatever DNA mutation thing that they mentioned, but I think that's related to the ear and why they wear the masks and stuff. But yeah, Planetarian as a whole is really great. And yeah, I highly recommend it. I don't know if there's anything else I want to say. It's very deep, and it raises very deep, meaningful questions about, robots and androids and the relationships with them, and, trying not to have them broken like us, but at the same time, working with God, if one believes in God, to create a good robots like Yumemi you know, and that they would be noetical. Of course, if someone doesn't believe in that stuff, then they would just believe rational is the epitome of it. But then the problem with that is then they're made in the likeness of, you know, us, of humans who are imperfect. None of us are perfectly loving and kind. We all have our faults there. But yeah, this was an amazing thing, an amazing journey with Planetarian, and yeah, I'll be doing like a review sort of recap thing, not reaction, but review recap thing to Yubisaki to Renren, Yuki's World or whatever it's called, which is a romance thing I've been watching. It's pretty cool. Reminds me of Koi no Katachi, but they're like a bit older. And it's a bit less dramatic, at least thus far from what I've watched. And a bit more, not realistic, but more realistic in the development of its romance. So look forward to videos on that. You know, I'll be streaming more, at least once or twice a week. Because I'm better. I'm not sick anymore. I'm like 98% better. But yeah. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Let's get the subscriber count up, and that way we can do more stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. So peace. And bye. Trying to blink, wink. Alright, see ya. Oh yeah, let me know your thoughts below, and yeah. Beautiful story. The sequel could have been, they should have cut a little recast. So to summarize, the prequel's amazing. It adds a lot of background to the visual novel. The visual novel's really great. The visual novel's amazing. Really read the visual novel instead of watching the remake of the ONA, so you get more character, all that good juicy character development for the main character and the interesting way that's presented for Yumemi, and then also for the sequel. They could have better explained the importance and how the Stargazer came to be important. They could have cut the recap a bit and also done a few things different with the memory of Yumemi to live on, but it was a beautiful thing seeing him, you know, go to heaven and the heaven not be divided and all these things. So very beautiful, very, very beautiful. I love romance and stuff, but and it didn't portray a romantic kind of love, but it portrayed other kinds of love, and it did so in a really great and really beautifully told way. But again, the sequel could have been, they should have cut the recap a bit and just expanded a few things, explanations on things at the very least. And the whole heaven part there should have been at the very end, in my opinion. But really good sequel. The prequel's amazing. The visual novel's amazing. I'll see you next time. Bye. Tried to piece my thoughts together the best I could. But anyways, yeah, bye.